Hi there. Eddie Muller with you late into the night as TCM celebrates 31 days of Oscar. Tonight, Oscar gets into politics. Up next is a tense and paranoid political thriller from the director who pretty much built the template for such films in the 60s, John Frankenheimer. Released by Paramount in 1964, this is 7 Days in May. Set in America's not-too-distant future, President Jordan Lyman, played by Frederick March, prepares to sign a peace treaty with the Soviets. That does not sit well with the hawkish chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, played by Burt Lancaster. Not only does the general clearly voice his objections to the deal, he just might be up to something far more sinister. The general's deputy, played by Kirk Douglas, may have stumbled upon such a conspiracy. Will the deputy be loyal to the boss he idolizes, or to the president he somewhat reluctantly serves? 7 Days in May initially caught Kirk Douglas's eye when the star was seeking projects for his production company. Edward Lewis, Douglas's producing partner, brought the galleys of the yet-to-be-published novel to Frankenheimer, and they snapped up the rights. It was a smart move. The novel, written by Fletcher Nebel and Charles W. Bailey, hit #1 on the bestseller list. Frankenheimer hired Rod Serling to adapt it into a screenplay. Serling, best known as the host and creator of The Twilight Zone, already had written a number of teleplays Frankenheimer had directed, mainly for Playhouse 90. Frankenheimer populated the cast with actors with whom he'd already had good experiences. Those warm and fuzzy feelings did not extend to Lancaster, however. The two clashed during their prior collaboration, the 1962 prison drama Birdman of Alcatraz. Kirk Douglas had to assure Frankenheimer that he'd get his buddy Burt to play nice on the set. It probably didn't hurt that after all the drama and difficulty making Birdman, Lancaster got an Academy Award nomination for his efforts. This film would get 2 nominations of its own, Best Supporting Actor for Edmund O'Brien and Best Black and White Art Direction. Also starring Ava Gardner from 1964, here is 7 Days in May. Director John Frankenheimer very nearly had to call his film 6 Days in May. As the start of production neared, he reread the script one more time and noticed a serious problem. The story begins on a Monday, with the attempted coup coinciding with the Sunday running of the Preakness, the Triple Crown horse race that's an important part of the plot. Slight problem. The Preakness always took place on a Saturday. The director realized there were only 6 days of story for 7 Days in May. Frankenheimer turned to a friend who worked as a script doctor. He was owed hours of free work from this guy after winning a bet involving their competitive tennis matches. The writer had an idea, but would only share it if that meant the debt was settled. And Frankenheimer agreed. Did you see the solution? In one scene, a poster is displayed that says, Preakness, first Sunday running, May 18th. No one ever picked up on it, Frankenheimer noted years later. Up next, a fascinating look at America's involvement in World War II, the Cold War, and Vietnam through the eyes of former Defense Secretary Robert McNamara. Errol Morris's Oscar-winning 2003 documentary, The Fog of War, is ahead as TCM's 31 Days of Oscar continues.
Next on TCM, The Fog of War, then The Candidate, and later, Immortal Love. Oscars forever yours.